Hello, it is 5 a.m. in Washington. It's noon in Cairo. I'm Monita Rajpal.
And I'm Zain, Verjee. This is World One, live from London. Also ahead, one congresswoman wasn't there to hear her commander-in-chief.
Begin this hour in World One with Barack Obama calling for unity in his State of the Union address. The president acknowledged the country is facing difficulties, but he repeatedly called on Americans to win the future and said innovation, education, and investment are the keys to success. Well, Mr. Obama called on Americans to recognize and respond to the growing power of competitors like China and India. He called the opportunity a Sputnik moment, a reminder of the challenge that faced America in 1957 when the Soviet Union beat the U.S. to put a satellite in space.
Half a century ago,
now we want to take a look at some of the top trends that are trending across social media today. Lots of chatter about India Republic Day on January 26, 1950. India's constitution came into force 2.5 years after independence. Log on to Twitter and you'll see Jai Hind is a top trend. It means victory to India. At number 2, Toyota is recalling 1.5 million vehicles to be repaired and says various models in Japan and hundreds of thousands of the Lexus models in the U.S. could develop fuel leaks. Toyota has recalled nearly 16 million cars since late 2009. And at number 1, this woman, U.S. Representative Michelle Bachmann of Minnesota, the chair of the Tea Party caucus in Congress, delivered a rebuttal to President Barack Obama's address Tuesday night. But most of the chatter online is about how she was looking at the wrong camera during her speech. Now, more of the top stories and some great behind-the-scenes videos. Stay tuned to CNN as we will, of course, stay across all these stories and bring you the very latest developments as soon as they become available. Well, he's a prime minister under pressure, embroiled in a sex scandal, but Italy's Silvio Berlusconi isn't backing down, and don't we know it? Now in our top story here on World One, reaction to U.S. President Obama's State of the Union address Tuesday night. As usual, after a major speech, the opposing party, the Republicans, prepared a response. But what was unusual about Tuesday night is that a third group also weighed in. The Tea Party is a political movement in the U.S. that has a central leadership, but Minnesota Republican Michelle Bachmann is chair of the Tea Party caucus in Congress, and she was sharply critical of Mr. Obama's speech.
Here's a few suggestions for fixing
Lebanon's new prime minister says he is prepared to push ahead and form a government, even if he has to do it without the caretaker prime minister Saad Hariri. Najib Mikati spoke to CNN and rejected claims that he is Hezbollah's man. Hariri's supporters don't buy that. On Tuesday, they were out in Mr. Mikati's appointment is spilling beyond Lebanon's borders. The U.S. is worried Hezbollah is going to seize the lion's share of power. Washington considers it a terrorist organization, but in an interview with CNN's Nick Robertson, Mr. Mikati set out to allay the fears. It's an unlikely sporting marriage and a business venture verging on the bizarre, but an American billionaire has won the hearts of a small soccer club in northeast England by becoming a major sponsor. Robert Rich Jr. traveled across the Atlantic. How did all of this happen, and what do people in Bedlington actually think? Well, Alex Thomas has been following the story. He joins us now. It's kind of a nice, sweet story.
It's a really nice story.
Yeah.
When you've been journalists as long as you and I have, Monita.
Snazzy uniforms, I'll have to say. Alex, thank you very much for that. I love that story.
It dominated the Golden Globe Awards.
I haven't seen anything yet.
I enjoyed it. Now, sharing a name with a woman who's soon to become a princess, it's turning out to be a bit of a royal headache, folks. This week, Facebook deleted profiles of several Kate Middletons, calling them fakes. The only problem is they were real.
Maybe Rajpal and Zain Verjee should also be deleted. You're watching World One live from London. I'm Zain Verjee.
And I am Monita Rajpal. Thanks for joining us. We want to give you another look at something that World One that would look more at home on a movie set.
The sea, the sand, and that piano.